मान्छे कति धेरै हो जहिले मान्छे भिड हुन्छ है आम्मामा
मान्छे त जताततै उति नै हुन्छ यो चाहिँ ब्रिस्टल कार्बर सर्क भन्छ यो चाहिँ सपिङ सेन्टर हो
सपिङ
यहाँ
सेन्टर
चाहिँ सपिङ गर्ने मान्छेलाई चाहिँ प्राय गरेर डिजाइनर सपहरू छ त्यही डिजाइनर सपबाट चाहिँ सपिङ गर्नेहरूको लागि चाहिँ यो चाहिँ युजफुल सपिङ सेन्टर हो यस्तो डिजाइनर सपिङ सेन्टर धेरै ठाउँ हुन्छ तर यो ब्रिस्टलको चाहिँ आज हामी घुम्न आइरहेछौँ तिमीले चाहिँ आज के किन्ने प्रिय
एउटा कुरा छ कि
ए हो
the brightness up because I just couldn't see.
युकेमा चाहिँ यो सहर घुम्ने क्रममा यसरी
अलिक अगाडि हिँड्नु नि
यसरी बाहिर हिँड्यो भने चाहिँ विन्डो सपिङ भन्छ क्या बाहिरबाट नै हेरेरै सपिङ गर्ने भन्छ र कति चिज चाहिँ विन्डो सपिङमा पक्का डिजाइनर सप हामीले पर छोडेर आइसक्यौँ तर
सबै कुरा
सपिङ चाहिँ गर्न क्यारी अनै गरिरहेको छौँ हेर्ने
विन्डो सपिङ मात्रै आज
तिमीलाई किन्नेलाई नि के किन्ने हो आज एउटा राजनैतिक डिबेट पनि हामीले देख्यौँ सबैजनाले आफ्नो आफ्नो मन्तव्य राख्न सक्ने
अझै भइरहेछ
अझै भइरहेछ
डुबेट भइरहेछ ऊ त्यहाँनिर डुबेट भएको होइन
तर त्यो आफ्नो फ्री अफ स्पिच भन्छ त्यो फ्री अफ स्पिच चाहिँ पोख्नु पाउने रहेछ त्यसमा प्राय गरेर चाहिँ
केही बोल्ने हो हिँड्नु त उता
प्राय गरेर चाहिँ यो रेफ्युजी फोरेन कन्ट्रीको मान्छेको विषयमा डिबेट गरेको रहेछ त्यो कति त सत्य पनि छ सुन्यौँ हामीले
मान्छे हेर्नु ल त्यहाँ डुबेट भइरहेको हेरौँ डुबेट यहीँ भइरहेछ एकछिन स्टिल डुबेट भइरहेछ
This is what I mean. Like, you know, interestingly, and Nick Griffin commented on this, the liberalisation of the Muslim community. Now, if I go to Tower Hamlets, there's a lot of people who do drugs, there's lots of people who have premarital sex, and this is the consequence of enclaves who don't communicate properly with the British culture, that adopt the worst aspects of our culture, degeneracy and crime, and they keep the worst aspects of their religion, which is the dogmatic principles of their faith. I mean, even going beyond, for example, child marriage, largely agreed upon, and the NHS had to make a statement that Muslim communities need to stop marrying their cousins. In the UK, yes. The NHS literally had to release a statement, you can look this up, where Muslim, and they had to redact it because too many right-wingers were using this. You need to stop marrying your cousins. Yeah, Islam teaches child marriage, cousin marriage, yes it does. And you agree with me that there are Muslim countries that teach it. There is no formal age of
That's
consent.
against the religion.
It's not.
It is.
Well, are you going to go
Should we
against
talk
your
about
prophet? Yeah, sure, let's talk about Christianity.
In Deuteronomy,
Yeah. But have some patience with that.
In Deuteronomy, I know what you're going to say first. The Old Testament.
I'm very happy about myself. You aren't because you're uncomfortable because you're running away.
The Old Testament, I know we're going to say, you don't follow the Old Testament.
No, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to defend the Old Testament.
In Deuteronomy, there's a ruling where it says...
Is it the shekels versus about the rape?
No. Oh yeah, it's the shekels in the ring.
Yeah.
And the other one where, if a woman is raped, should I read the verse out?
Yeah, you have to pay 50 shekels. Yeah.
No. There's another one in the same Deuteronomy.
Oh, you have to shave her hair.
No,
Oh, that's not.
something worse. If a woman is raped in a town and she didn't, if a woman is raped in a town by a man, the man is stoned to death as well as the woman. And it says in the verse, the woman is stoned to death because she did not scream for help. It says that word for word. I checked the different because I checked the king. I know there's a
Yeah, you don't understand. So
version.
I can respond. So one is Deuteronomy 18 and the other is Deuteronomy 28. Now, first of all, can we establish what Deuteronomy means? Deuteronomy comes from the Latin and Greek translation for repetition and second giving of the law. Deuteronomy is Moses on his deathbed reciting the Old Testament law. Now, rape in the Old Testament context isn't just referring to unconsensual sex, but also sex outside of marriage. So Deuteronomy 28 says what Deuteronomy is reciting.
If the word is rape,
can I respond?
If the word is rape,
Do you want to interrupt me actually giving an answer? Because I was actually being more charitable. I gave you the verse because I already knew what you were going to say. So Deuteronomy 28 is a repetition. It's reciting back to the other previous books of Moses. Now, Deuteronomy 28 is referring back to Exodus 22, which is talking about what someone should do when they're caught in the act of adultery. Now, according to the political law, a person cannot remarry once someone is a virgin, right? So, Deuteronomy is referring to when two people have sexual sex outside of marriage and what they should do. They should pay an endearment to the father and they should be married. Because that is the best possible good. And if you actually look within societies at the time of the Old Testament, what most society does, and I can, the biblical scholars actually use this as an example of how incredibly ethical the Christian faith was towards women. In a situation where a woman was caught in adultery, the man wouldn't have been punished, the woman would. Now, in the case of the other example in Deuteronomy 18, or it's rather 16, I forget, where it talks about whether when you hear when the woman is raped, the woman is promised but not a man.
No, exactly. The meaning about all these putting them there, but half of them are teachers. Half of them are
bullshit. They're not fucking engineers, doctors. They're fucking rapists, horrible section. Yeah, but end of story, mate.
think about half of our doctors then.
There ain't no fucking doctors, you dickhead.
What, so none of our nurses are...
Well, mate, they're not doctors, they're engineers, you fucking moron.
Why are there Indians in this country?
Yo, why are you coming off for? Why are you coming off for? We're not talking about accept. Who said the word accept? I'm not saying, oh yeah, sorry guys, sorry Indians, we're sorry we kind of fucked you guys over. Come. We're saying the reason they're here is because their economy is so screwed. The same sentence I've said 4 times now, we've cut me off at the exact same spot.
You don't understand the point, it doesn't matter why
How can you understand what
if
point
we
I'm trying
close
to
the hole
make?
in the fence, they don't come.
How can you understand my point if you're not letting me finish, bro?
Because you're saying,
But,
I'm not talking about...
Shush, please.
I'm
Let me
not-
speak.
yeah,
Let me
go on.
speak. We're not accepting them. We're saying that their economies are so their economies are so screwed over that they have to come here for work. They earn pennies. The quality of life is terrible there. The reason they're here is because the UK is benefiting so much of screwing them over. That's the reason they're here.
The reason why they're here, and I know you're trying to make a distinction between whether you accept them or whether the reason for them you why they're here. But it's no difference, right? If we close the hole in the fence, it doesn't matter who's coming for what reason, they still don't come. That's why we're saying all the time. The other is well to brain drain. If we're allegedly accepting that the best and brightest of India, why can't they go back to India and make their country separate? It's a brain drain something.
You can't change the world by yourself.
No, but if you accept communities of go-getters, allegedly go-getters, into the UK, that means India is missing out in great workers. That's why internationalism has been fucked so much. Because we used to operate under, this is your country, build it up, also build yourself up. And then we can create a beautiful cross-generation of politics. And now because we're international, that's all happening.
Because it's saying, India, build your country up, have your tea, have your riches, and we'll just take a little bit. They pillaged them, they stole from them, they ruined them, and now they're here.
Yeah,
I'm not asking
and they're trying to do the same thing. I thought you were busy.
With a smart little word, historical, you make everybody think. I'm talking about, back with Columbus and all of that. Historical, I'm talking about 10 years before World War I. 10 years.
That's still quite historical. Then if you remember World War I.
I was talking about what was stolen. What was stolen by that is worth, one piece is worth £1 million.
I already know what you're saying.
No, let me over here. Good. You start talking about historical. I'm not talking historical. Otherwise, why do you every year have the commemoration to the soldiers that were killed in World War I? It is because it is not historical.
Yeah, for the wrong reasons.
A 19th century situation. But yet when you start talking about what it is was still, you start talking historical.
Foreign criminals in our prison system. And people with visa overstay at the further colonisation, if you believe colonisation was happening. I also think that if you look at former colonies, Singapore being one, they have the highest GDP internationally. They're a pretty well-off country. Look at Japan. They're
But that is why those people are here.
Japan is a technological empire.
But that is why
They got
those
nuked
people are
twice.
here.
you know, we
That is why those people are here.
I don't think we have an influx of Japanese migrants in this
That
country.
is why not just them from all over. That is why they keep coming. Can't you
We
understand?
have millions of Japanese people in this country.
Not just Japanese. Don't choose one.
No, but you're saying that because a country has been colonized before its
No,
past,
don't
it
use
must justify the
no
invasion
fancy
of our
word
country.
of colonize. No fancy word of colonize. You went to those places, killed and robbed and stole. Bring it here. It is here by the thousands.
Every country's done that.
Every country
Do I have to have Norwegian citizenship because of their historical injustices done against us?
I understand where it is you're coming from. Cancel us.
According to this man, we should have no borders because everyone just killed each other. But as we work, you want to keep on our discussion? But you can also at the same breath have a hierarchy, right?
Yeah.
So for example, we all think humans are equal, but you're going to show more love and affection and attention and priority over someone who's a member of your family compared to a foreigner, for example, right?
Because I would save my mum over you from a burning building.
And that's because your value.
But that doesn't mean I can violate your rights, correct?
No, but it means that you show more of an appreciation, and especially when we're talking about categories, like the categories of humanity. Lady, calm down. Calm, relax. People that disagree with you exist. Listen, the anti-woke lefty is speaking. Don't be rude.
I've been trying to have a conversation.
Oh, patronising you!
Oh, me patronising?
No,
I've got a brain which is more than you
On your
two
bike,
have
love,
got.
on your bike.
On your bike, love. Oh, yes. Show me a bit of that, idiot.
Right.
Two fucking idiots.
Cheerio, love.
Racist fucking idiots. This is it. Is that the best you can do?
Listen, I'm living a pretty good life.
A snobby little grin as if you were so clever.
I was
You're
taught,
not clever.
in the names of Mighty Pythons, The Life of Brian, always look on the bright side of life.
My time is valuable. I'm trying to debate this guy. Get out of here. Right. But Bob, would you agree that a pig's value is sufficient enough that we should not at least put them in a gas chamber, stab them in the throat and turn them into a bacon sandwich?
I don't think so, no. I believe that, biblically speaking, as a Christian, we have stewardship over all animals, and that means that we can make decisions on how we treat animals.
Yeah. So I'd like to ask you a question to test your moral consistency in this. Now, in vegan philosophy, animal rights philosophy, it's called the name and trait question. Have you heard of this?
No.
So the question is, what is it that's true of a pig that, if true, of a human, would cause you to say it was justified to stab that human in the throat for a
Two
burger?
things.
Yep.
I'm a member of that species and I possess a higher degree of bounded rationality.
Okay, so if we took a human whose DNA was slightly altered just by such the tiniest percent that they could no longer procreate with humans, and this human had the rationality of a pig, would it be okay to stab that human in his throat?
I don't think we would give it as much of a moral consideration than us, yes. And I also think it's like when you're speaking to most people on how they value things, to be honest with you, there's a degree of sophistry, like an appeal to extreme in that
I'm
question.
confused by your answer here. Do you think that people with the consciousness of a chicken, that it's okay to kill them?
I would not give it the same moral rights, no. I don't think in this very extreme, impossible situation where we no longer have this higher degree of rationality and it's not a member of our species, I think we would not give it the same rights, no.
Okay, so say there's a person here who has the conscience of a chicken. What is it that you value about that person? And I'm not asking you to give them the right.
It's a living member of our species,
Yep.
and humans have a second order thought and bounded rationality.
Okay, that human would not have this kind of rationality.
Yeah, it would not be a member of our species. Like this guy, this
No,
is the
this
issue I have
person
with
would be
vegans.
in-
In order
no.
to come to their conclusion, they have to ask me this obnoxious line of questions like, if a human had the mind of a chicken, would you mind killing it?
Yeah, there are humans with the
This is
IQ of
why I
chickens.
think this sort of discussion is first of all.
So
bad
you're
thing,
dodging
second of all, it's exhausting.
hypotheticals.
No.
It is exhausting. Oh, but you're going to dodge hypotheticals.
No, I've answered your question.
So-
I've said that I would not give the same degree of moral.
Yeah. Would I have sex with it? Is not the question.
Not give the same rights to someone that is not of my species and does not have bounded rationality.
Yeah, okay. We know that a person who has the consciousness of a chicken, we would give them the exact same rights.
Yeah.
I'm not asking them to fly a plane, I'm not asking them to drive cars. Would you give them the right to not be stabbed in the throat for a burger?
No, I wouldn't.
So you would round up people with the IQ of a chicken and kill them for burgers?
I wouldn't see the need to, but I wouldn't have an issue with someone doing it.
Consistent at least. Thank you, Bob. You have a good day, mate.
Cheers.
This guy would kill people with the IQ of chicken.
No, I just don't think people with chicken brains exist, so I don't really care.
Hold on. There are people who have
The IQs of chickens, please present me with this mystical figure.
a specific figure.
Yeah, please present me with this mystical Greek, Greco-Danny chicken human.
Well, there are people. Do you know that there are people in the world who have sufficiently low IQ that they can't talk or whatever? Oh, very good.
Yeah, but the difference is it's within their own DNA and nature to substantiate.
So you would only give them value based on their surroundings.
Because when you're talking about specieshood, right, we're talking about a set of traits that classify them within a state of being. That includes, for example, typically developing a high-functioning brain. Now, in the case of someone that's disabled, they ought to develop that brain, but they don't have it. That's why we'd value it differently compared to this sort of demi-chicken, semi-human person that you're talking
But they're
about.
not. They don't have the potential to develop that brain. They're born with that's their full cognitive capacity.
Agreed, but within their own nature,
No, there are some
within
people
their own
who-
substantiated
They are
nature, they
animals.
ought to develop it.
They're not the species chicken. But
I just hate how ridiculous. This is why I don't debate with vegans. Their discussions are ridiculous. I prefer to talk about the actual topic. Now, can I
that's
ask
fine,
you?
yeah.
Let's talk about the topic at hand, right?
Yeah.
So, I believe in the deportation of over 10 million migrants. That is people who are net drains to the economy. That is people who hate our way of life, and that is foreign criminals.
Yep.
I believe in the deportation of those people. I'd also leave the ECHR and the UN Refugee Convention. I'd close the borders and currently limit asylum applicants into our country.
Yeah, I agree. As I said at the start of the conversation.
Based right-wing vegan. All right.
That's what I told you at the start of this conversation, Bob, is I'm going to piss everyone here off because I'm anti-woke and vegan.
Haven't annoyed me.
So no one here has liked what I've said today. But yeah, I would deport people who want Sharia law and who hate our way of life, who would attack you for your freedom of speech. And something we can all agree on, folks, should we deport foreign animal abusers? Thank you. Bob?
I mean, yeah, I don't think someone
If someone tortures an
eating the
individual,
dogs, you know, yeah, that's something. All right, well, my friend, fantastic having a discussion with you. Now, I'm assuming everyone here is just here for the entertainment, but if anyone humorisms, as the people on the internet like to call him, he's too much of a continuation of the sort of Thatcherite Tory party, which I don't like. So it seems like in that video message where he was talking about, I think it was his 5 required points, that reform would have to adhere to within their policy decisions in order for Rupert Lowe to work with reform, which is demographic security, the deportations of all illegal migrants, the cut expenditures of the welfare budget, and a few others as well. I agree with that, and I think that's a movement in the right direction for Rupert Lowe.
I agree.
Fantastic. Thank you. Is there anyone who hates me? What I find is, so the native Bristolians are either quite tolerant of me or they actually like me. But it's all these students who like infect the area. And the issue is that the reason why these places are so left-wing is because, especially in local elections, you can vote to